Hello and welcome back to Reddit Daily. Today is May 18th. The current time is 9 a.m. GMT at the time of recording this, and I am just going to be showing you the default front page with location set to everywhere. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. First, we have a post from our dank memes by the user USSR Communism. Let's see what he's up to today. The text on the image says, "Quick, the Americans are asleep. Post pictures of stuff that isn't expensive." With a picture of an ambulance. It's a Mercedes ambulance, so I would imagine that's somewhere in Europe. You know, as an American, that hurts, guys. That hurts, but it is true. Next up, so on our Super Stunk is the subreddit Super Stunk by Timmy with a lot of M's. The title is Glacier Capital Does Not Exist. Glacier Capital is in quotations. And then if we expand, it's a long text post. So, my friends and all the mocking of Glacier Capital shorting GME today, we forgot to ask the most important question: do they actually exist? Bloomberg has a profile of them, if you can call it that, claiming they were founded in 2005. So, this is GameStop stock stuff. And there's a whole long write-up by this person that I imagine is about how they don't believe that Glacier Capital exists. Melvin Capital, which if you followed that whole GameStop shorting fiasco back in, what was it, March of this year, they were the company that was shorting the stock. The best that I understand this whole situation, they were basically betting that GameStop stock was going to go down in value, and so they were holding, waiting to sell lower than they bought in, and then these Reddit warriors came in and bought a bunch of stock, and they just keep holding it. And now GameStop is all over the place, the stock. That's the long and short of it. I'm not going to read the whole analysis, but apparently Glacier Capital is somebody who is doing something supposedly, and this person is saying that they don't even exist. So that's, if you're into that whole thing, please look into it more on your own. I'm not going to read the whole thing for the purposes of this video. Next, we have on R Funny, submitted by M Hasley P9ILU. The title is, "It's true, even if you haven't been frozen." What are we working with here? This is a GIF from Futurama, from one of the first episodes. And I'm going to have to go back there because I was talking while the GIF was doing words at me. "Remember when the tube opens, say, 'Welcome to the world of tomorrow.' Hey, I was frozen. I think I know what people want to hear when they first wake up." The person wakes up from the cryo chamber and Fry says, "The bathroom's that way," and the guy runs off. Futurama, Fry has been in this position before where he woke up in a cryo chamber, and so he knows you probably have to go to the bathroom. Just explaining memes. That's it. That's what this is. So next, from our white people Twitter, by a user named Malvarf. Title is, "This is important and deserves to be a movement." We have an image here from somebody on Twitter, JR Gin, handle @GinRumMe. They say, "What we really need is wider and shorter plates of nachos. No more tall towers of chips and toppings. Spread the toppings across a large area and cover all the chips, not just the top layer. Stand with me. Join the movement." It's important and it needs to be a movement. I'm on board. You got me on board. So that's from White People Twitter. Next, from our eye bleach. Submitted by Perfect Schlag _. We have an image here. The title is, "In the Final Minutes of My Cake Day, I give you my dog, Leon, as a chess piece." Cake Day is a Reddit terminology for birthday, because your name has a piece of cake by it on your birthday. Oh, well, that's perfect for eye bleach. This is a picture of an oversized chess table. And there's a small, what are the white cloud dogs called? There's one of those, the puffy, adorable white cloud dog. And it is in the position of, and here's where I reveal that I don't know anything about chess, either the king or the queen. One of those two. There's a puffy white dog. He's about the same size as the other pieces. Next, we have from Our Politics by Segvkor. Title, Biden Tax Returns. He paid 25.9% rate and earned $607,336. From what, this past year, I would imagine? I'm just looking here in the comments. Whenever there's a political post or, I don't know, some post where usually and I think a lot of us do this. Maybe you're lying. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm lying. A lot of the times, we'll just read the title. Occasionally, I'll read the comments. If I'm still confused or uncertain, then I might read the whole post. And sometimes the post I can't read unless I'm a paying member, because of that's just how things are these days. So the first comment is Bob Sorella WT says, top comment. You mean he didn't claim he'd do it for months and months, stringing people along, then claim he couldn't because it was part of an audit, even though the IRS said that they actually hadn't said he couldn't. Whoa, what a time to be alive. So making fun of the previous president. Sure. Okay. From Our Memes by Uwuwu Potato. You know Uwuwu. It's an emoji. The capital U, lowercase w, capital U, and it looks like eyes closed and a little, like a mouth. It's an emoji. I don't know how else to describe it. It's making a wobbly, pleasureful face. Text, Weeb's a symbol. Expand the image. Text, in anime, colon, we have to save the world. Next line, world, colon. No words, just a picture of a globe that is empty other than Japan. Because anime is from Japan, weebs mean people who love Japan a lot, to the extent of sometimes being embarrassing about it. So next we have from Our News by user I Sleep Upside Down. Title, SCOTUS rules police cannot search homes without warrants in the name of community caretaking. Quotations around community caretaking. Okay, we're going to dive into the comments here. This is just the kind of topic that I feel like a comment is worth reading. User Blarney1 with 12.6 thousand points comments, unanimous 9-0 decision, pretty cut and dry. User Not a Good Boy says, it's a slap bang out of the Constitution. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. And then he adds, they didn't have a lot of wiggle room there. I am a little curious. I don't know what spurred about this whole situation. Just kind of scanning. So the community caretaking exception sounds like it originated from a 1973 case, Katie v. Dombrowski, in which an officer took out a gun of an impounded car without a warrant. So it's there was a precedent set in the 70s that has been unanimously overturned by the Supreme Court. Okay. Well, that was an interesting little dive into constitutional law, if you can call it that. Okay, what do we have next? League of Legends. Our League of Legends. Famous MOBA. Of course. Submitted by the user KEZM7X. Title. What's it like in bronze? Looks like we've got a GIF. Oh, a video. So this is a video of people playing League of Legends, which I have no understanding of or frame of reference for. There's two people running around and they're fighting some creatures, and they took down some kind of a pillar or something. What's it like in bronze? So they took down a statue. That's the best I can do, folks. I don't understand League of Legends. If you're listening to this and you're preoccupied or you're not able to see, I'm sorry. Sometimes I do a good job, sometimes I don't. That time, not so great. Next, from Our Old School Cool, by user last of his name. Text, my great-grandmother graduated in 1900 with a degree in physics, rocking the puffy arms look. Expand the image, and it's a woman, young woman, in an old black and white photo. She's rocking the puffy arms look. She has a very conservatively cut dress with a tight collar. Her hair's up in a neat bun. She's looking off in the distance like a badass, thinking about physics. And she's got really puffy sleeves. Definitely old school cool material. That brings us on to a post from our Aw. And the title is, that's probably the best day that mouse has had or will have in its life, by user Jackenneth. Looks like we got another video or a GIF. I'm gonna turn down this music a bit because I don't want to get copyright stricken. So somebody gave a mouse some grapes and strawberries on a napkin, and the mouse is just going to town. Just a happy mouse. That's awesome. I want to know, that person just went to a field and was like, I have a good feeling there's a mouse here. Or maybe they've been an admirer from afar of this mouse for a while, and they went out and they brought a little picnic for the mouse. I love it. It's great. R.A. One of the best. Keep up the good work. Next we have from our memes by user Bew2Pro. Bew or Bo. Bew is in beauty, or Bo is in a man. Title, credit to user ToastGames97 for the artwork. We've got an image, expanding it. Okay, text at the top. Think, Scoob, think. Why do Fred and Daphne always get to check the bathroom while we are used as bait? Image. Yeah, it's I just forgot his name. Scooby's human friend. The hippie. I just forgot his name. Scoob. Oh, Scoob. That guy. Oh, Scoob. I'm a hippie. I'm a hippie Scoob. Did Casey Kasem do the voice of him? Anyways. Scooby's best friend is laying down some logic bombs. And Scooby's... Scooby-Doo, the dog. The Great Dane dog is bewildered. His eyes are closed. His mouth is all wibbly and wobbly. He doesn't know what to say. From our memes. Next up, from our unexpected. Title, I actually did not see that coming. By Cool Dude 122837. Got a video here.
why going vegan actually kills more animals. Let me explain. Now, as we know, farmers cultivate the meat and then sell it to companies who then sell it to consumers. And according to the Bureau for the International Trade of Culinary Harvest, this price that the farmers sell it for is actually regulated by the companies that buy it. So the Central United Meats Department then hypothesized that if consumers were to buy less and less meat, these companies would start paying less to the farmers for the same amount of meat. And what eventually happens is that these farmers have to kill more animals, slaughter more creatures than they usually do to make up for the fact that they don't get as much money as they used to. And what's even more crazy is that this entire video is fake. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. The organizations I mentioned literally spell out bitch and cum. But if the fact that I have a good camera and some good lighting and graphics makes you believe otherwise, then maybe it's a sign that you shouldn't believe it.
Awesome. Very cool. I like that. Yeah. Gotta be careful with what you believe on the internet. Maybe I was about to believe it. I was listening and I was like, how am I gonna make sense of this? Because I have no idea what this guy is talking about. Yeah, stop and think about things. When you see them on the internet, check who says it, where they're getting it from. Just because they say the name of a fancy organization or a government bureau doesn't mean that it's real. Awesome. Good job to that guy. TikTok handle Sandesh B. Arthur. Look him up. Good stuff. Great stuff. Good job. Like, that's what everybody wants. That's what they're waiting for, is for me to say great job. So now they can feel validated. So there you go. From subreddit r/apple by user AK47rocks leet YouTube. I just like saying usernames out loud. That's the best part of doing these videos. Title: Apple Music announces spatial audio and lossless audio. I don't know why I just immediately opened the comments. Cassette line user comments at no extra cost. I'm shocked and pleased. Yeah, it's funny. I think about this stuff a lot. Streaming, we lost a certain amount of quality compared to some physical media. And now people are just like throwing all kinds of physical media away. CDs now, you can get a really good bargain on good music. And if you're okay with taking up the physical space and you have a CD player, which is increasingly rare, unless you're a weird nerd junk collector like me. Same with movies, Blu-rays. They just look better. And people call me trash for buying Blu-rays. They call me trash. They look better. Anyways, from our picks. User Countryman R60. Text: West Texas storm chasing. Expand the image. Big, crazy cloud in the sky. The picture is at least 3/4 sky and cloud at the top. And this cloud is like it looks like somebody is throwing a bunch of colored sand in the sky. Like in India when they have that color festival where they're throwing colored powders all over the place. It's like that, but a giant did it in the sky. And it's a cloud. It's really cool looking. Next, from the Cool Guides subreddit by a user named Cortado267. Text: I would love to have this for afternoon tea. Expand the image. So it's a cool guide about how to make a full afternoon tea set. Third course is at the top. So you have like a silver platter tray thing with 3 tiers. Top tier is the third course. And you go all the way down to the first course. So let's start there, because I guess that's where you would start in an afternoon tea. First course is an egg sandwich, smoked salmon and dill sandwich, cucumber sandwich, sandwiches. You got your basic sandwiches. Next, second course, you got your scone, your clotted cream, your jam, your Battenberg cake, You know, you're kind of exiting the savory realm, starting to dip some toes into the sweetness realm. Next, you got your third course, petite fours, madeleines, Victoria sponge, macaroons. You're getting sweeter. You're in full-on dessert mode. And then they have a list of teas at the bottom. You got your black tea, both Darjeeling and Assam, Earl Grey, green tea, oolong, white tea, chamomile, mint, and a champagne. Hey, if you're feeling a little bubbly, go for some champagne. I'm such a dork. I'm sorry. Okay. Taste Atlas. Thank you for the lovely image. Next up, subreddit. Didn't know I wanted that. By user O Archie. Text. Terrifying bag. Expand the image, and we have some text at the top of the image. Text on bag reads as, in quotes, "This text has no other purpose than to terrify those who are afraid of the Arabic language." And you look down, and it's a big bag, like a tote bag, a reusable grocery bag, whatever, with Arabic text in a box. That's funny. Yeah, so it's just saying this exists to troll people who are afraid of the Arabic language. That's funny. Next up, Reddit's fun today. I just want to say. Nothing too scary so far or too offensive, I think. All right, next for real this time. On Ask Reddit. So we're probably going to have to dive into the comments on this one. What's your favorite Futurama quote? Futurama's big today. I'm just going to read a couple of these. We don't need a whole lot of Futurama quotes, but there are some good ones. Okay, from Seraph from COC, top comment with almost 4,000 points. If we hit that bullseye, the rest of the dominoes should fall like a house of cards. Checkmate. Very good, mixing all kinds of references there. Next, from user Jugoslav. Kif, fetch me my reading shorts. That's awesome. Comedy, man. Sometimes it's just as simple as changing one word. Reading glasses. Okay. Reading glasses makes sense. What would be a thing to put reading in front of that wouldn't make sense? Shorts. Beautiful. You made a great joke. Okay, next, one more of these. Just one more and we're moving on. From Gambler Returns with over 5,000 points. I'm having one of those headaches with pictures. Response. Do you mean an idea? That's a classic. Futurama's got some really good quotes. Okay, from subreddit r Terraria. User Loki_ISP. Text. Terraria's 10th anniversary. We are Relogic. Ask us anything. So this is an AMA or an Ask Us Anything post by the developers of the popular video game 2D kind of retro style pixel art sort of Minecraft kind of thing. That's, you know, that's the shortest way to get there to describe it if you don't know what Terraria is. It's their 10th anniversary. And so they're letting people ask them questions and answering. Top question. Is the princess an actual princess or is she feigning royalty? Answer, yes. And that's all we're going to read about Terraria because that's all we need to know that it's good. Next up, subreddit 2X chromosomes. Submitted by Misana123. Text. Supreme Court will hear an abortion case that could undo Roe versus Wade. Let's just check out a couple of the questions because I am in no position in any capacity to have any kind of anything on this topic. So let's see what the commenters are saying. By Snake Bill. Snake Bill asks, serious question here. I was under the impression that Roe versus Wade clarified that you had the right to make medical decisions for yourself and by default covered abortion. If I'm incorrect, please tell me. But if I'm right, this means undermining Roe v. Wade could have further reaching implications that could affect a lot more than abortion rights, couldn't it? 3 raccoons in a big coat. That's not just a username. That's actually who's writing this comment. 3 raccoons in a big coat says, Roe basically means that the government has no right to get involved in medical decisions made between you and your doctor. Abortion access is a side effect of this. So yeah, losing Roe would mean the government could step in and dictate what happens to you and your care rather than your doctor making that decision. Man, you could not find a less qualified person to comment on this than me. So there you go. I read a couple of the comments, and there's the thing. It's an important issue to a lot of people. I'll let you guys figure it out. That's the best I can do right now. I'm sorry. Okay. Our prequel memes by crypto_BL. Text. I don't what to put here. Almost every day in the top page, there's a post with the title saying, oh, nobody reads it. I read this. I read it. I just read it. Give it a name. If you're going to make the post, give it a name. Jeez. Okay. Expand the image. Image with text. The text says, we should give all newborn babies numbers rather than names until they are ready to determine their own gender identity. And then text in describing this conversation between a mother and a baby. Baby cries, the mother, watch your tone, CT7567. It's a picture from, I think, Star Wars, The Clone Wars. They're clones, so their names are numbers. That is an approach to allowing people to define their own genders by giving people numbers instead of names. But I mean, if my name's Kyle, I could be a girl named Kyle. I could be a guy named Kyle. I could change my name. I could not like my name anyways and decide to go by another name. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe a name is better than a number, and if they don't like it, they can still change it, I guess, is my point there. Anyways, by subreddit Political Humor, posted by Darth Ronan. Text, it's so efficient I couldn't even consider doing it another way. And I'm going to expand the image by Max Berger, verified account, no idea who he is. Looks like a happy guy though. He says, I love paying TurboTax, a few $100 every year to figure out how much money I owe the government, which the government already knows, but won't tell me because TurboTax pays legislators to keep the government from telling me. I've heard about this. And the thing is, I don't even pay for TurboTax. When I do taxes, you can do them for free if you want to redo all the same information every year. I think I do H&R Block, but I think I pay for it. So they got me. They got me, but it was one of TurboTax's competitors. But I'm sure H&R Block, they're part of that whole thing. Anyways, let's keep going. Subreddit, next effing level, user, Chirograph2. Text in the title, beat the freeze, in quotations. Race gives the fan a generous head start. And it looks like we got a video here. Oh, it's a GIF. Somebody's playing baseball. So this is some kind of a little show during one of the breaks, whatever they call them in baseball. Beat the freeze is some kind of a race challenge of some kind. And the fan got a big head start, but the freeze comes through. The fan had almost a half of the width of the baseball diamond. Well, not a half, about a third. And then the freeze apparently is this guy in a ice blue skin tight onesie thing. You know what I'm talking about. It covers the face. And he just blasts off and comes and passes the guy's trying to hype up the crowd. The freeze passes him, trips the guy, and the freeze crosses the ribbon, and the guy falls down face first in shame. Classic. I miss baseball games. Haven't been to a baseball game in a while. Those are good times. Subreddit. Damn, that's interesting. Submitted by Reddit user Checha105. Don't know how to pronounce that. Okay. Text. Cow wash. Got a GIF or a video. Some cows walking through a kind of a canal. Kind of like a lazy river for cows. And they're splashing around, having a good time. They have to walk through it on their way to their little pen thing. That's kind of cool. I hope that's fun for the cows. I hope most of the cows' lives are fun. Yeah. Okay. Last post for this video that I'm going to read from our documentaries. Submitted by Wokely Awake. Text of the title. The Night That Changed Germany's Attitude to Refugees, 2016. Mass sexual assault incident turned Germany's tolerance of mass migration upside down. Police and media downplayed the incident, but as days went by, Germans learned that there were over 1,000 complaints of sexual assault. So this is a 30-minute documentary. As usual, when it's a topic that which is most topics, I'm no authority to speak on, and my take is not really relevant or interesting or valuable. I am going to read the comments, bearing in mind every subreddit has its own political leanings, its own culture, its own everything. So don't take when I read the comments to mean that I agree with whatever they're saying. Sometimes I'll read comments from all over the political spectrum, okay? I'm just reading the comments to see what the people on the subreddit where it was posted are saying. Top comment, Puff's Magic Drag, says, the comment section's gonna be wild when there are half as many comments as there are likes. And Psychic32 replies to that and says, sort by controversial. So yeah, and then comments go on to say, for people that try to dismiss this, you need to understand what happens here. There are gangs of men who discussed and strategized how they could assault innocent people. They came up with tactics of surrounding them. Just like a whole big, long, messy story about some of this stuff that happens. Submitted by Bolton Wanderer 87, that comment. And then somebody else says, 1,000 complaints. What's the percentage of people who don't speak up? I wonder how many victims there really were. So that's messed up, and it sucks that we have to end on a sad, bad note. Maybe I'll dip into the second page. Yeah, new rule. If the last post of the front page is sad and depressing, then we're going to dip into the second page until we can end on a positive note. From our futurology. Come on, be good. Canada declares plastics toxic, paving the way for restrictions. In quotes, I think the days of waiting for recycling to work are over, notes one environmentalist. Okay. Is that positive? Canada declares plastics toxic, paving the way for restrictions. Everything's positive. I mean, it's or negative to different people. I consider that fairly positive. I think it's the way things are going. It only makes sense. So sure. I prefer that to the last one. And so on that note, we're going to end today's daily Reddit front page. Thank you for joining, and please subscribe for daily front page descriptions, reactions, etc. What you just witnessed by me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.